Yo, what's up guys, it's Jake Gordon again. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to do a slightly different video. We're going to go over one of my 100k big investments. And no, before you say it's not a Lambo. Also keep in mind that this is not financial advice, dude. Like whatever I say, take it with a grain of salt. It's not, personal advice, business advice, financial advice. Take it with a grain of salt. I have to obviously say that. Do your own due diligence before, if you ever take any advice I do on this channel, especially in this video, please take it with a grain of salt. Having said that, let's crack on, let's crack on with the video. So obviously you've read the title by now. What have I been doing over the past month? And it is buying Bitcoin, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum, mostly Bitcoin though. Why have I been doing that? We'll talk about that later. How I do it, we'll talk about that later. So if you want to stick around to know how I do it and why I do it, stick around. So for the past month, pretty much since the end of December, January 1st, I've been consistently every Monday dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So every month I'm putting about 20k, every Monday I'm putting about 20k into Bitcoin. Pretty much 9 a.m. when I'm doing my morning poop, to be 100% honest. Yes, I'm buying crypto when I do a poo in the morning. So what does dollar cost average mean? It pretty much means like you can kind of like get the best of both worlds. Instead of just putting like 80k, 100k, which I've put in a winner, you can kind of do it, every Monday, like I said, or you can do it every month. If you want to do it every week, you're going to catch some high prices, but you're also going to catch some low prices. And like I said in the title, it's going to be averaging. So that's hence the name dollar cost averaging. You're going to get the average price. In my opinion, that's the best way to do it because nobody wants to time the market. Nobody can time the market, buy the dips, all that kind of BS. Just dollar cost average. If you've got a decent amount of money you want to consistently put in, rather than doing it all lump sum. Both will work if you plan on holding or hodling long term. But if you're just trying to, trade it, don't want to really do that. So like I said, I've been putting in about 20k every Monday, but you don't have to do that. You can do, for example, my girlfriend, she does it monthly, right? She puts in £250 split into Ethereum and BTC. So you don't have to do it every week. You can do it every couple of days, every month. The month I would probably do the longest. Like you don't want to really wait longer, 2 months, 3 months. Do it every month if you're going to do it that way. But you don't have to do it to crazy amounts, like whatever suits your budget. You can do it every couple of days, which I've heard of as well. Dollar cost averaging every 2-3 days. Have it set up on your phone, which you can do with most of these apps. And that's going to work the same way. So if you're going to do it, dollar cost averaging is the best way because you're going to catch, like I said, both the prices. So first, let's talk about what platforms I'm using to buy it. We'll then talk about how to store it, and obviously, why am I doing this in the first place. So personally, like I said, you do this with your own research. I'm using Binance right now. So first, let's talk about the best ways to store it. There's three ways to store it. You can do it on the exchange itself. For example, on a platform like Binance, we'll talk about that later. My best exchanges I use, but for the most part, it's going to be best for most people just to leave it on the exchange. For most people, it's just super easy just to not have to worry about it and just leave it with the exchange to take charge of it. But for people like me that put in a decent amount, I don't really want to leave my money or crypto with Binance. For example, in 2018, 3 years ago, they literally got hacked for, I think it was 4 million or it was in the millions. And they got hacked. So somebody's wallet got hacked, a few wallets. But the good thing about Binance and why I like Binance so much, they literally have a fund. If that happens, they refund you. So you are secured even if that does happen. I think it's up to a certain amount though. So I think it's only up to about 250k, which is a lot. And most of you guys probably won't have that. So it is good to go to leave on the exchange. For me personally though, we'll talk about option 3. That's what I like the best. The second option is going to be most phone wallet apps. So a hot storage they call this, or a warm storage. So that's taking it off the exchange and putting it on. For example, I used to use Trust Wallet app. Now that's really good. Trust Wallet app are super secure, but more security comes with more responsibility. So now you're in charge of your keys. So if you lose that, or if you get hacked for whatever reason, you shouldn't. But if somebody gets access to your keys, then you're not getting that money back. So there's no Binance insurance almost, right? So it's more safer for sure, but it's still technically online. So it's definitely a good option if you've got, just a couple of K, or just, for example, the girlfriend, she's just doing it on that. She doesn't need to go for the third options, which we'll talk about in a second, which is the hardware wallets. And we'll actually plug mine in and show you how it works. But that's option number 3 is going to be the hardware wallets. Now, like I said, if you've got anything over 6 figures, you're going to want one of them. I use Trezor. There is the Ledger Nanos. I didn't go for the Ledger Nanos just because if you go on their Facebook page, horrible reviews. And obviously they got hacked recently as well. Not for crypto. Like you can't get hacked for that kind of stuff for your crypto unless you physically give somebody your 16 or 12 digit phrase code. But they got hacked with their email address. So a lot of people's physical emails, physical names, even addresses got hacked. I don't care about that. You guys already know. I don't care about that, but some people did care about that, obviously. So I just wanted to go with Trezor. A little bit more expensive. I think it was about £220. I'm not affiliated, but I would recommend if you've got a decent amount of money, get one of them. And pretty much what that means is it's a cold storage. So once you set it up, that's the really only bit when it's online, and then it's offline. Like to get that, like you're not going to be able to touch that. Even if you physically stole the device, like the 16 phrase code is in my head or it's written down in a safe. So you don't have to go to that extreme. But if you stole my treasure, you can't do anything with it, right? You can't get into it. So you need the 16 phrase. So that's why I like that option the best. And for £220, it is a small investment, especially if you've got over 6 figures now. So if you want to go super safe, go the treasure. But like I said in the section before, it means more liability, right? So if you get hacked or you lose your keys or whatever, you ain't getting that money back. So I would only go for that option if you are, serious about it. And if you're just want to put money in it, just willy-nilly, just go for option number 1 or go for the, the phone option, right? The Trust Wallet app. But if you're serious, go for the Trezor app. If you want to, do this long term, it definitely makes more sense to keep, like people say, your keys, your crypto, or not your keys, not your crypto. So yeah, that's why I go for that option. So probably the most exciting part of this video you guys have been waiting for. Let's actually log in the Trezor and let's see, what I've put in, what I've currently got. So like I said, I've only been doing this for a month. Like I wish I got this back in November, like Bitcoin was half the price, or even, let's be honest, we all wish we got back in 2013 when Bitcoin was like $1 or $10 or whatever. So obviously people jump in at every different points, but let's show you mine and then let's finish off the video, what I see crypto doing in the future. If, like I said, you guys should do your own due diligence, but I think it's very smart to start putting your money to work rather than letting it melt away, literally by the banks. So like I said, if you stole this, like I said, this is why I like this. Like my keys in here, I've also got another key separate. That's what you need to get my crypto. But if I could physically give you this and you're not going to be able to do anything with it. Because like I said, it's not physically stored in here. It's like on the blockchain or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. But you guys could steal this and it's not going to do anything. That's why I physically like that. If you steal my phone, and you could probably get into my Trust Wallet app pretty easily, to be honest. But this, you ain't getting it. So once you plug it in, you can see on my screen, I'm going to open the Trezor suite. Now you can also do this online, but like I said, we're just storing it offline on this little app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in my code here. And like I said, even if I gave you this part of the code, you guys could, it's not going to mean anything. And Bitcoin's been going up super good, like recently. So I've not checked this in a few days. So last time I checked, it was like 99k. So we'll see what it's at. Boom, 112k GBP. So that's about 140 USD. You can see exactly like what I've got. 2.5 Bitcoin, which equals 75k. And Ethereum, I've got 30 Ethereum, so I'm stashing Ethereum, which is 37k. My price predictions takes with a grain of salt. I think Bitcoin's going to 200k this year, and Ethereum about 10-15k this year. So yeah, I'm really trying to like 5x my money in this year just with this. And like I said, long term, the sky is the limit. It is going to probably take a dip next year, but if you're hodling, who cares? You know what I mean? Like just hodl it. Don't care about it. And yeah, like that's so easy how it is. This is the dashboard, obviously, and this is offline. Like I said, nobody can see this. And there's also some Tor options you guys can use. You want to hide it. I don't know why you would hide it like that, but you can like scribble over it and it goes away. And yeah, you don't always have to do Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can have other cryptocurrencies, but these are the only ones I'm going long on. I've got some few BNB tokens that I had to buy. But I've got them in my Trust Wallet app. So if we go on Bitcoin here, we can see I've got 2 wallets for this one. So I've got a Segwit account and a native Segwit. Now that pretty much just means like there's still Bitcoin, but one transaction is going to be faster, right? So if we go, let's go on Ethereum, right? So for my 37k Ethereum, I put in 23k here and I put in, so I'm about 26k in. So I've made like 10k on my Ethereum. Bitcoin for this one, I put in 30 there. 9 there to 39, so I'm up like another 10k. So like I said, I'm up about 20k just in a month, which is insane. Like I'm not trying to do this short term. Like I'm not one of these short term things. Only when I do ecom, I'm very short term. I'm trying to pump stores up and then get out of there and rinse and repeat. But this, I'm very much long term. Like I truly believe in the value. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm like too crazy just to put like, I put in like 85k. And like I said, we're up like 25k GBP, so it's about 40 USD, which is 35 USD, whatever. It's insane in a month. But yeah, I'm just going to keep dollar cost average in this account. I'm going to try and get this to $1 million not pretty soon, but by the end of the year I definitely want this account at 1 million. Obviously I'll post about it if I'm still making YouTube videos. Hopefully I am. But yeah, super exciting. Like I said, take this with a grain of salt. Don't just look at mine and be like, oh, I'll never get there. Like, this is an e-com channel primarily. You only need one store to do this. Like I said, I've just been not dumping in some stores that we're running. Every week I take a little bit of the profit out of it, chuck it in here and let this money grow. Because now we're going to come on to the last part of the video, which is the most important, I think. It's why Bitcoin, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions now, especially institution people, think Bitcoin is the next way forward. But just ending on this part here, like, I know this is super confusing, and it was super confusing for me. That's why I recommend reaching out to somebody you know. For me, it was one of my ecom dudes, Samir. He showed me literally how to do it step by step. So it's very confusing, but I promise you, it takes like a week of actually learning it, watching a few videos to actually understand how it works. So recommend doing that if you're brand new. Find somebody that you know is actually legit and does this. Like, I'm not your guy. Like, this is just something I do passively. But I can give you my best feedback on what I've been doing. And yeah, but let's talk about why I've dumped already like 100k into this market already in like a month. So the supply of Bitcoin is only 21 million. Now in the world, there's literally, I've got it here, there's 46.8 millionaires. So if every millionaire wanted to buy Bitcoin, like one of Bitcoin, it would not be possible. There's not enough to go around. Now that's not like to count everybody else, like me or you or like everybody else. Like, there's obviously, like, I've got some of the pie now, so that number gets super small. And obviously there's like 3 or 4 million that were just lost just in wallets that were just lost. And obviously, like, people buying it right now every single day. For example, PayPal, Square, MicroStrategy, they're buying more than the daily amount supplied. So that just means that Bitcoin's going to go up in price. Like, that's just maths. It's that simple. So that's a really good sign why I believe in, Bitcoin and where I think it's going, because I want to follow the smart money, if that makes sense. So if I see something that PayPal is doing, and like MicroStrategy and Grayscale, like, they're a lot smarter than me and you put together, all of us, right? So if they're doing that, putting consistent money in it every single day, I definitely want to jump on that train before it's too late. Then if you combine that to all the money printing going around, especially in the USA, like, you guys in the USA are losing like 15% of your purchase value. That means the cost of capital, if you have 100k, technically going to have 85k after the years, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. So in UK it's not as bad, but we're still pretty bad. You guys are doing a lot more money printing than us, but I want to try and grow my assets. That's why I used to like real estate, but then realized it's not really worth it for me. I don't like the hassle. With this, guys, like, it's literally going up 200% every single year, and it's going to continue doing that, in my opinion. So instead of having dollars or pounds or whatever, put it in here, and that's what I'm doing. But like I said, this is just my advice. Now, the most important thing is, where do you buy it? So we'll talk about that real quick. For me, I use Binance as my main supplier, I guess you could call it that way. Gemini is my backup, right? So Binance is my go-to. I pretty much got everything off Binance. I used crypto.com as well. I don't really like the platform too much. I just don't like it. I know like a lot of people do like crypto.com. For me, nah. Gemini is my backup. So I recommend having 2. So Binance is good. Like I said, do your own research on your country, whatever is going to work for you. Binance is, you literally, you'll send some verification, and within 24 hours you can buy your crypto. Super easy. Gemini is a backup. So why I recommend having a backup is, let's just say, I don't know, something happened, you want to cash out. You want a backup because it's going to get pretty crazy if a lot of people are cashing out, and some apps can go down and some exchanges can go down. I know a lot of people love Coinbase, and there's some Coinbase fans out there. For me, it's absolute trash. Like, you can only put in like 300 a week in for me, which is not good for somebody like me. So it's not good for most people that are doing e-com as well, because they're doing some decent money. So, and their customer support is trash. It's absolute trash. So I'd stay away from Coinbase, to be honest. If you're a small investor, maybe, but I don't like their customer support. When I deal with companies, I want them to be, helping me. And they don't give you much help. And like I said, the limited buying power they give you is absolute trash. To connect your bank account, it was a hassle. So I just delete the app. I don't like Coinbase at all. So remember, dudes, I could be completely wrong about this, and Bitcoin and Ethereum could go to zero. That's why I recommend doing your own research. Only put what you can afford to lose. So let's say this went to zero right now. I'm going to be absolutely fine. So only put in what you can afford to lose. Some people like PayPal and Michael Saylor, I think his name is, and then there's another guy, I can't remember his name. They've pretty much got 90% cash changed into Bitcoin. For me, it's a little bit too risky to do that, even though these people are a lot smarter than me. So, like I said, if they lose that, they're still they're billionaires, millionaires, right? So they're going to be fine, even if they did lose that. It's going to hurt. If I lose this, I'm going to be fine. It's going to hurt a little bit, but to be honest, not really. So what is your budget? Only, like I said, if you're putting in 10%, do 10%. If you're going a little bit riskier, do 20%, but don't go 50%, don't go 90%. Like I said, it's probably going to pay off in the long term, doing 90%, but you want to have some cash because obviously cash is working right now. Cash is not going to be forever, but you need cash obviously to survive, you know, to pay your bills, right? You can't pay your bills with Bitcoin yet. Well, you can, but I want to keep my Bitcoin growing, right? So take that with a grain of salt, do your own research, guys, but it's my experience with Bitcoin so far. I plan to grow this to 1 million, like I said, this year, GBP, so 1.5 million USD or whatever the currency is over there because it's trash. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.